What's up, Math 8? Today we are finishing up the lessons on the Pythagorean Theorem, okay? This one we are working with the Pythagorean Theorem looking at a coordinate plane, which you may just know as a graph, okay? So we're going to look at this concept of a squared plus b squared equals c squared with right triangles on a graph, okay? So we're going to go down just to page 432, and this is going to be a pretty short video, okay, because we don't really have a whole lot to do, okay. So basically the idea is we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between 2 points on a graph, okay. So if we look at example 1, they give us the ordered pairs of 3, 0 and 7, -5. Okay, so what we need to do first is just go ahead, and again we need to remember, first of all, Pythagorean theorem. We've got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, now before we get to doing anything with that, if we look at this graph, and they already have this drawn out, but I'm just going to go over it. So we have our points. Right here is 3, 0, and down here is 7, -5. Okay, so we're trying to find the distance of this line right here. Okay, to do that, we can use these lines. Right, so we want to go down to this point right here so that we have a straight line vertically and also a straight line horizontally right here. Okay, when we do that, that's going to help us see pretty easily the distance of the lines. So we can just count those out. So that would be starting right here. As we go down, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, which they have right there. And then if we go over to our other point right here and start here, right, we go 1, 2, 3, 4 to get there. So our distance is 4. Okay. So we're going to use that then to figure out our Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So you'll notice if we actually zoom back in on the graph, this right here is our right angle, right? We created a right triangle when we made these lines here. Okay, so now we have our right angle right here, and with that tells us that 4 and 5 are our legs for our right triangle, so we can plug in 4 and 5 for A and B, and then C is the line that we started with, the blue line right here. Okay, and again we know that because it's the side that is opposite of the right angle. All right, so now we have 4 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. We can go ahead and simplify that. 4 squared is going to give us 16. 5 squared will give us 25. And then we have c squared still. 16 plus 25 is 41. So c squared is 41. Our last step is to take the square root of both sides. And then for c, we can just estimate that based on estimating square roots like we did in the last chapter. The closest perfect square to 41 is 36. So it's going to be about 6 for c here. Okay, if you wanted to get out your calculator and get a more precise estimate for c, you can. So you'll just type that in. All right, so that is it for that example. We actually don't have to use these points, really, right? We would look at C is this number, so the distance between these 2 points is approximately 6. And again, you could put a more precise estimate with decimals if you wanted to, but yeah, for this one, 6 is good enough. Okay. So I want you to go ahead and try out Got It Problem A, okay? When you do these, just to give you a quick refresher, because I know maybe for some of you, it's been a little while since we've looked at graphing things. So when you look at points, just remember if we have the point 1, 3, okay, that's your first point here. 1 is your x value, 3 is your y value. Okay, so that would be the point 1, 3 right here, right? Because x is 1, y is 3. All right, so you'll do that for both points, and then graph your line, and you'll go from there using the same steps we did in the example problem up here. Okay, so go ahead and try out Got It Problem A, and then after you do that, we actually don't get into the distance formula in this class, so you do not need to worry about that. So just do Got It Problem A, and then that is it for this video lesson. Okay, so yeah, I will see you guys in class in the next day or so. So see ya.